LifterLMS, you can chop it, you can block it, you can slice it, you can dice it, but we're going live. I felt very info commercial like today, so that's why I did that.
Awesome. Yeah, this is the LifterLMS infomercial coming to you live. We're here to answer any questions with enthusiasm and power to get you to buy the LifterLMS product line. Yeah, let us know in the chat any questions you have. It's Will Middleton and Kurt Von Onen coming to you from LifterLMS. Let us know where you're calling in from and any questions you have about LifterLMS. We're going to be here for the next hour or so answering any questions you have. We're going to prioritize people who make the time to join us live. Make sure we get those questions answered, but we're also going to be diving into some other channels and questions we've received in the last week if we don't have anyone tuning in the chat. But yeah, Kurt, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good, man. I'm juggling a lot of things. I mean, from an agency perspective, we've got some really good prospects and some good projects coming our way. And what's interesting is, and I think you get this too, Will, is sometimes customers ask you for something and it's a stretch, it's a challenge, and you're like, and your gut is it's WordPress, so I got to say yes and then figure it out. Sometimes it's in your strength zone, sometimes it's not, but that's been the kind of week for me, and it's been interesting putting things together and leveraging different people's skills to come out with really superior products.
Nice. Yeah, that's I guess the last week for me hasn't really been project filled. It's just been travel filled. I was in Taipei, Taiwan for the last week at a WordCamp Asia, hanging out with the WP Fusion team, and Chris from Lifter, Jason from Lifter were also there. And then what else? I guess I've been getting to some projects this week. Migrations from just cleaning up LifterLMS websites, because I've seen a lot of sites developers have been working on where they just install a bunch of plugins, custom code, stuff that the customer doesn't really need because they don't do a thorough needs assessment with the end customer, and so they build something that's really convoluted and the customer can't edit, and it's complicated. So I'm reworking a Lifter site back to some basic out of the box stuff.
Yeah. You and I had a project like that a couple of years ago that went that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, folks, if you get the opportunity, and I'll put the little banner in here that says it, we take your questions in the chat. So if you have any pre-sales, questions that you can put forth to us, we can do screen shares, we can talk about it, we can point you in the right direction, we can get you where you need to go. But we need your input to make that happen and make it more interactive. So if you would jump into the chat, tell us where you're from, tell us your name, and then if you have those questions, go ahead and put that in. I know that I am homebound in Hutchinson, Kansas, and Will, the globetrotter that he is, dude, where are you at now?
I'm in Seattle.
You're in Seattle?
In Seattle.
Nice. Was that a UPS guy walking behind you, your security guard, or your roommate?
Or maybe all three. It was my roommate, yeah.
Cool. We don't have any real questions yet, so I want to kind of make this a little more fun today.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me what it's like to go to WordPress Asia, WordCamp Asia.
It was a wonderful experience. It was a lot like WordCamp Europe as far as like what the camp was like. The sponsor hall was pretty chill. It's and what I was doing there was manning a booth, right? So I was hanging out with the WP Fusion team during the WordCamp days at the booth, talking to people, giving away free merch and all that kind of stuff. So WordCamp, no matter where it is, whether it's WordCamp Asia or WordCamp Hutchinson, Kansas, it's worth going to these live events if you can make it. It's an experience where you can meet the developers, the users, and the agencies, and everyone who's behind WordPress meeting in one place and socializing. There's talks that people are giving at WordCamps about different topics like developer, there's thumbs up, developer track, a marketing track, and what's the other track? The general track. So no matter what level of WordPress user you are, you can engage with the entire WordPress community, and it really gives a sense of perspective and connects you to people in a whole new way. So I really love that aspect of all WordCamps.
Well, I think I told you, we've told the whole audience this before, but my first adventure at WordCamp was WordCamp US San Diego. And it was a limited draw WordCamp. I think that's when COVID was coming to an end and people were still freaking out. I think only 600 people could go or something. But when I went, I was blown away. I was like, so the community's just flipping awesome. And so that's the thing where, you know, I've been in other communities. I've been in power sports. I've been in automotive. I've been in, you know, RV. I've been in bicycle, different racing organizations. And there's always like this weird cliquish kind of thing that can happen with any large group of people. But I found that in WordPress, those barriers to entry into those cliques were a lot less. Like it was easy to just stretch out a hand and go, I'm Kurt, you know, what do you do? Or, you know, and it just seemed like you could meet and greet with almost anybody there, which, and not for nothing. Let's say you're a football fan. Let's just say you're a football fan. Who's a good quarterback, Will? Do you know?
No.
Yeah, see, I don't either. That's why we're good at WordPress, because we don't know anything about sports. But so back in the day, it was John Elway, right? For me, it was everyone wanted to meet John Elway. Well, if you were a football fan and you went to an event and John Elway was anywhere in the stadium, what would be your chances of making eye contact and shaking hands and having a cup of coffee or a sit down with John Elway? It would be like nothing, right? But in WordPress, you can see somebody that is a star player. Well, your personal experience with Jack speaks to that with WP Fusion. WP Fusion's a huge product in the WordPress space, you know, and then you've become friends with Jack. You know, the first time I reached out with a support issue at LifterLMS, Chris Badgett emailed me back. Like, okay, somehow I got the owner on here, right? And now years later, I'm part of the team running these. I just think WordPress is super awesome in that you have access at levels you wouldn't get in other organizations or other genres or other things. You know, you can run into superstars in the space and literally form a relationship with them and figure out, you know, that whole what's in it for them, what's in it for you equation, and make something work.
Yeah, and even Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, was walking around at the parties just casually. And yeah, it's an awesome experience. But let me let's pull up a quick question here and dive in. And anyone, we see Wilf in chat.
Yep, Southern France. Parlez-vous français?
Oh, awesome. WordCamp Europe is in Italy this year, so that might be close enough. But I do have I do have a LifterLMS question. I've had a real difficulty getting started in procrastination. I have been a photographer for nearly 40 years, and I would like to create a community and then move towards creating a lesson based on my experience. Okay, so starting with expertise, trying to create community, and then moving into creating courses from there. So the question, I think my question is, how do I get over the fear of beginning?
Go see Tony Robbins.
Go see Tony Robbins. Yeah, that's a good question though. Like the procrastination, and I think at what level is that happening? Is it because building community? I think you're right on that. Building the community is the first thing you want to do. You don't want to dive into building like a, you know, multi 10, 20, 30, 100 lesson course and then without any community to back it up. So I think creating that content and answering questions, finding areas you can answer questions, like on a YouTube comment section or in a Facebook group or in Reddit, etc. We could probably come up with a lot more communities, but that's my usual recommendation, is to find a community where questions are being asked and start answering questions in that community and see how it goes. And then people start to follow you on that platform. And even if you have a website with a newsletter and blog posts, etc., just kind of start creating informative content based on questions people ask wherever you can. So I don't know, Kurt, do you have anything else to add to that kind of community startup?
You nailed a lot of that, you know, and sometimes people struggle with, well, how do I find a question to answer or something like that? And that's where some AI tools really come in handy. You know, you could prompt AI. You could go to a website called answerthepublic.com. You go to Answer the Public, you put in the topic, and it'll tell you what people are actively searching for within that topic in real time. And so if you go to, say you go to a Facebook photography page and you're looking through this page and you don't really see any good questions to answer or things that are in your area of expertise, then you just go to Answer the Public, you put in photography, or you put in maybe a type of camera that you're an expert with, and you hit search, and it'll comes up with this really hard to read pie chart thing, but in that pie chart are all these questions that people are asking in real time. And so then you can kind of choose that subject matter based on the rate of ask, and it gives you kind of that inspiration to make content that's relevant. There you go. There's the wheel.
Here's the complicated wheel, and it does show a little bit. Well, introducing our new feature. All right, if you scroll down, it should show you in a list order too. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bunch of circles. But let's look at these.
Well, I think the tab at the top you have selected is wheels, and then I think there's another tab that shows lists.
Oh yeah, there you go, list.
And they've revamped this user interface because it used to look a little bit different. But this tells you exactly like what's the search volume, how many people are asking this specific ask. And so then you could actually strategize your content delivery based on the rate of people asking the question. And sometimes this will happen. This is what Chris used to tell me was the expert's curse. Chris would say the expert's curse is you're an expert, and so you assume that you have to come at people with this super high level, informative line of thinking. You got to come in super high. And what usually happens is you procrastinate based on this false pressure you put on yourself. And so if you kind of bring things back to like, what are people actually asking for? And what's the barrier of entry for people? And how do you get people to that next step, to that next step, to that next step? You can eventually have a community of people where you're talking at this level. But for a lot of folks, they're going to be coming in at a much lower level of entry, and you can be much more simple in the way that you address things.
Yeah, like in WordPress, I think my most popular YouTube video is like how to set up menu visibility in WordPress. It's not my latest video about how to run SQL commands to update posts in bulk in the database. So like it just knowing more than the people who are watching the video who want to know something simple in WordPress, I was able to provide a resource, and that became the most popular resource. But some of my most popular resources are not complex subjects. They're just relatively intermediate subjects. So there's no pressure to create, like Kurt said, the most complex subject matter in the marketplace.
Yeah, a lot of times I find people ask me all the time. I have a certain level of training that I give in the power sports industry, and I've had other trainers come to me and they said, I was thinking about putting out a course too, but how do you protect your content? And I was like, what do you mean protect my content? Like, I didn't really invent these subjects. Like, for instance, you're going to have a way that you teach people how to use a certain lens or a certain camera or develop digital photos in a certain way with a certain filter, with like, you're going to have something that you're good at, and you're going to make a course in that area. And then someone might come to you and say, well, how do you protect that content? And you're like, protect what content? I didn't invent how to use this filter. I didn't invent this camera. You didn't invent anything, but you invent what you have is you. The way that you present, the way that you deliver ideas, the way that you deliver concepts. And so, be true to yourself, keep your same cadence, create assets that are a good reflection of you and your personal brand. And as you build your community, that authenticity will shine. And over time, remember, this is a long game. This isn't an easy button push, but over the long game, you should see certain results.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I like those kinds of questions.
Yeah, and I think
that's much better than how do I make a beveled button and turn it purple and make it 3D.
Right, and a lot of those community things, the community-oriented questions will drive you to find a niche, and that's really where you'll be able to make a lot of money. Because like a general photography course, there's a ton of them out there, but you're going to be able to find some kind of niche, like Kurt mentioned. If it's in a specific camera, people might be looking up how to use a certain type of camera, and that's where you could, even though you have a lot of general photography knowledge as well, if they were to find you from a search about a Canon XLR something, so whatever your favorite type of camera is, then they're like, oh, this person's an expert at this type of camera, and then they'll start following you because that's the type of camera they have, and then your general knowledge will apply to them too. But I think starting as a generalist is a big challenge, especially in a large industry like photography. So find that niche. So cool. Yeah, Wilf, let us know in the chat if that gets you a couple of ideas to work off of, or if you have any follow-up questions as well. I also recommend talking to ChatGPT, my personal pocket assistant now. I consult with about everything. If you say like, you take your answer from Answer the Public, whatever popular topics you like from there, and then you go to ChatGPT and say, okay, hey, what communities are people talking about this subject in? And then it'll tell you a bunch of websites where people are talking about that subject, and then you can go over to that website. And yeah, I think the biggest challenge I have with that kind of thing is not looking like a fool. I want to look like an expert, but sometimes I just have to get over that and post valuable content and stop worrying about my own ego. That's a big hang up for me. But then this is a question from our YouTube comment in the last week. Can I ask why you use WooCommerce recurring payments instead of the built-in LifterLMS course access plans? I don't remember what video that was on, but there's a couple of options when it comes to e-commerce for LifterLMS. You have the out-of-the-box gateways, Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, and LifterLMS, the most popular being the Stripe gateway. And those are really easy to set up. You just create your free Stripe account, you put in your API keys in the LifterLMS extension. You can do this with the Earth bundle, you can do it with the Universe bundle, Infinity bundle. No matter what bundle you have, you'll have access to that Stripe add-on. It makes it really easy to do recurring payments and use LifterLMS access plans. And we can share a screen for anyone who's new here and hasn't taken a look at LifterLMS access plans. I'll have to disable my WooCommerce extension real quick. But then there's also the WooCommerce extension as another payment option for those who want to get a little bit more complicated with it and add a little bit more high-end functionality. Let me go to WooCommerce. It is disabled. Okay, perfect. So if I go to one of my courses or memberships, I'm going to have an access plan system available to edit on all of these. So if I edit any of my courses or memberships and scroll down midway down the page, we'll find, once it loads in, here we go, access plans. And so we can do a free access plan if we do no payment required with this checkbox here, or if I uncheck the box, it opens up an opportunity for me to insert a price, and then I can insert a frequency. So this would be $10 every month for all time. So this would be like a $10 monthly plan. But this question was probably in a video where we used WooCommerce subscriptions instead. So in that video, we were going through how to set up a WooCommerce integration. And if we go to the Lifter settings and I enable WooCommerce, this is going to make my access plan area look a little bit different. So let's save changes and reload my courses. So I'm no longer going to have the same options under access plans if I have the WooCommerce extension enabled. Let's take a look. So if I were to do a paid plan, it's now asking me to associate my access plan with a WooCommerce product instead of just entering the price right here. And so what that means is I'll have to go to WooCommerce products, add a new product, and then I'll be able to select that product here from the dropdown. Probably not going to be blouse, but I'd create a quick start course, WooCommerce product, select that product right here, and then that means when somebody purchases that WooCommerce product, they'll be enrolled into this course. And so that makes it pretty simple to say, okay, they purchase a WooCommerce product, they get enrolled into a Lifter course or membership. But the challenge is that now WooCommerce is handling all your e-commerce. Lifter doesn't touch your e-commerce. It basically just sees the payment and manages the enrollment. So if you did want to do recurring payments with WooCommerce, WooCommerce makes that a paid extension with the WooCommerce subscriptions add-on. It's like $240 a year for the WooCommerce subscriptions add-on to be able to do recurring payments through WooCommerce. Whereas with LifterLMS gateways out of the box, the recurring payments are built in because Lifter was built with the mindset that people are going to create recurring courses and memberships, but WooCommerce was not. WooCommerce was built with the mindset that people are going to be selling t-shirts and drop shipping, etc. So the subscription feature is more of an add-on to their product line, whereas with Lifter, it's more of an out-of-the-box assumption. I don't know, Kurt, do you have any input on why people choose WooCommerce, why people choose Stripe, and what's the option you normally will go with?
I normally try to avoid WooCommerce at almost every turn if I can use the standard LifterLMS payment gateway. Yeah. So it's a fair question. Like, why not just use the access plan in Lifter? Remember, whether you use WooCommerce or Lifter, you're still using an access plan, right? So, but then we get a lot of people that are like, I'm in South Africa and I have to use this weird payment gateway, right? And so we go, oh, well, that integrates with WooCommerce and WooCommerce integrates with Lifter. That sounds like the easiest way to make that happen. And so sometimes that'll happen that way. But even You've opened my eyes to a few solutions, Will, that I wouldn't have thought of naturally myself. Like someone says, "Oh, I want to sell an ebook." Okay, well, make the ebook part of a course, make the course part of an access plan, but then sell it that way. Download a white paper, download a so anything that's digital, you could really do through the LifterLMS standard payment gateway, the native gateway with Lifter. So when you start looking at WooCommerce, really start asking yourself, like, what's the end goal? What are you trying to do? There are some automations and some different things you can do with WooCommerce through WooCommerce add-ons, like Yith add-ons and Barn2 plugins and all these other things that you can expand your options with. But at the end of the day, if Will and I are going to talk about how do I successfully launch a course, unless you need some, extraneous, other country, payment gateway, I would stick with the LifterLMS native gateway whenever possible.
Nice. And I just was scrolling through the Facebook group and saw a message from Chris 3 hours ago that we could also dive into. And Will said, "Thank you so much, guys. This helped me." But LifterLMS just released 3 new add-ons, 3 new products, new Zapier app. That's really a fixed Zapier app from 3 years ago. But yes, Zapier works. Our team, because we released Zapier a long time ago, and then there was a security update to the REST API, which broke the Zapier add-on, so it needed to be rebuilt. And so that has been released. So Zapier now works with LifterLMS in a lot of brand new ways. So if you're a LifterLMS user and you know how to use Zapier and you want to zap information, so people sign up for a course and you send it to Google Drive or send yourself a text message, whatever you want to do. Well, I guess you could use the Twilio add-on from Lifter to do the text, but if you can enter the world of Zapier if you want to. That's now available, functionality secured and ready to go. There's the LifterLMS Advanced Coupons add-on and the Notes add-on. Wait, did this post just get updated like a second ago? Now it says 4 new products. With
4 new products.
I just said 3. It's 4 now. I don't know if he updated this. All right, 4 new add-ons. So the Zapier Advanced Coupon add-on, Notes add-on, and Aircraft add-on. So it's like a page builder for LifterLMS. It's a lot of Gutenberg pre-built pages that you can use in the Aircraft add-on. So I'm going to get my license key, and because in order for me to install these on my demo site, I got to re-enter my license key. Sometimes this will happen. I'll demo this too, because this is a common question that LifterLMS users have. If I go back to my share screen area, I tried to go install Advanced Coupons add right here from the back end of my site, but you can see I don't have an option to like install it. I just have an option to learn more. And so what I'm going to need to do is remove my license key and put it back in, and then I'll be able to click the install button. So I got to go get my license key real quick.
Bada boom, bada bing. Hey, nothing like learning with everybody else today.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 hours ago, I woke up only about 30 minutes ago. So I haven't even had time to get in here.
Well, I saw the fix for Zapier. I saw that last night.
Okay. Awesome. Let's see if the coupons add-on. It is a Notes add-on. Yeah, available. Okay, let's get into it. Add to stage. Very good. So let's take a look at each of these add-ons. I guess the first one I'll take a look at is the first one that comes up, LifterLMS Notes. Let me install this. Version 1.01.
1.01, baby.
1.01. All right. My scrolling's not great here. All right. Notes. And then we'll activate this thing. And so, disclaimer that neither me nor Kurt have ever used this. So this is the first time for everybody. Let's figure out how it works. So I'm going to go into the LifterLMS settings because I assume it's under the integrations tab. We're going to find a lot of new stuff. LifterLMS Notes, there it is. And we check the box because that's how they all work. And it does an AJAX reload, so I don't even need to click Save Changes. So Note button position on page, floating bottom, floating top, and bottom. Interesting. So I assume this is going to be on lesson pages, but let's see if it's also on course pages. View. Oh, there it is on the bottom right, right behind content chat with us. Let me go to the membership.
I'm going to go into, while you're playing, I'm going to go into brand and I'm going to turn that overlay off.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, in the StreamYard. Yeah.
There we
Because
go.
you probably can't see that on my screen. So yeah, let me reload. I'm going to put it top and bottom so we can see it, because down here it says take notes, and then up here at the top it also says take notes. Take notes. If I click on this, LifterLMS Quick Start course. Oh, that's nice. So the name of my note, this is like my notes about the Quick Start course. Save. Very good. So I can say my notes. Go. What does this do? Oh, it takes me to the dashboard. We have a new my notes thing, and this will store, I guess, all my notes, and I can search them and edit them. Very clean. And I guess I can select and delete them in bulk. Nice. So I guess that'll just be something that appears on all of your courses, and we'll check memberships in a second, but courses and lessons, we now have this take notes that just follows us around the website. It sticks on the page, and so people can drop in and say lesson with quiz notes, drop in some notes, save them, and then they'll be able to go to my notes on their dashboard and review them later. That's nice. And look at that timestamp. There's been a lot of feature requests about, like, I want the timestamp to be exactly accurate and not say like just the date. But yes, that's down to the second when you took the note. Awesome. So that's very cool. I would have to read through the whole change log to figure out what all the features are, but that looks like some high level features. I assume there's a shortcode as well that you can put anywhere on your website to display notes. But let's roll into another add-on real quick, and then we'll circle back and see if there's any features I missed in the notes. So jumping back to add-ons, let's go to the coupons one. Here you go, advanced coupons. That's a new one. Apply changes. So we're going to install this and activate it. Where did it go? There it is. Advanced coupons, activate. Boom. So that's activated. Let's go to the settings and see if I need to enable this. Under integrations. I don't see any advanced coupons here, but the advanced quizzes is also not on here, or like assignments. So it's probably just on. Let's go to the coupon system. See if anything changed. Coupon URL. There you go. That's a new thing. Coupon URL. So if I enable this, start typing to build a custom URL that applies a coupon when clicked. And then this can apply to specific access plans. Okay, so that's good. So you can send your users a URL and it will automatically apply a coupon for them. That's a wonderful feature. I know, Kurt, you and me have probably heard that one requested a bunch of times.
Yep.
What else does advanced coupons do? I thought it did something related to region, but maybe that didn't make it into version 1.0. I should also read the change log on these. Does it do anything here if it's not a free plan? Oh, and I have WooCommerce enabled. Let me turn that off because that might be interfering with this. Because when you're using the WooCommerce system, of course, you're not using the LifterLMS e-commerce system. You're using WooCommerce. So we're gonna so the coupon system from Lifter just doesn't matter. So let's turn that off and reload. Boom. Let's see, anything change down here? If I make it paid, plan availability. No, I don't see any new settings. I'm gonna look up LifterLMS advanced coupons. Find it on the LifterLMS website really quick. Oh, it's not even available for me to. It's not even the top thing on Google yet because it was like 3 hours ago. Getting started with advanced coupons. I'm going to go read the tutorial real quick because sometimes, well, it says coming soon. All right. Well, maybe is there a change log? There's got to be a change log. LifterLMS advanced coupons change log. Because the change log, for anyone who's curious, with change logs, they'll show all of the changes that have come into LifterLMS, and I think it's make.lifterlms.com. I think LifterLMS notes. Yeah, okay, here it is. Okay, very good. So if we go there, we have LifterLMS notes version, LifterLMS notes version. Where's the coupons version? So fix the URI for updates. That's not relevant to us. Advanced coupons version 1.0. Initial release. Well, that doesn't tell me much about the feature set, but let's jump up to Lifter Notes version. Moving the version constant, Lifter Notes. It just says initial public release. It doesn't say like what the features are. Well, I guess the way we'll know what the features are just by testing it out. So it looks like the main feature that I found for LifterLMS coupons has been that
you get a link.
You get a link. You get a link. I remember talking about some kind of geolocation settings for that, but I don't see any geolocation settings here. Maybe I do. There we go. This is more. What's going on here? Allow any access plan from restricted courses and memberships. When checked, any access plan from a course or membership selected above will be allowed. What does that mean? I'll also allow any access plan from restricted courses and memberships. I don't know what a restricted course or membership means. I guess if can the course or membership select, like, I'm wondering what the word restricted means in context of Lifter.
Because you can exclude a course from a coupon, I thought, which would be a restriction.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we could do limit to the following courses, and then you could allow it to be used on ones that are not selected. That makes sense. That makes sense. Minimum check-in amount. This specifies the minimum amount that you need to have in the cart in order to use the coupon. That's nice. Very nice. Maximum uses per coupon. That's a very I can't talk today. That's been a very popular request is I want this coupon to only be able to be used 10 times. In Lifter up to this point, you haven't been able to do that on a technical level. And so now you can. All you have to do is get the advanced coupons add-on, type the number 10 in here, and it'll only be able to be used 10 times. Enable geographic restrictions. That's the feature. That's the geolocation. I love that. So this is, I believe when I brought up this feature was to be IP address based. So if you're using a VPN, I think this is going to mess with this because it's just going to look at the location of the IP requesting the website. So this is very nice. Okay, this is nice. So you can have a coupon that is only available to Albania. This is very cool. So, I mean, I guess anyone with a VPN could switch to Albania, but how would you display this on the website? So this coupon is only available to be used by people with an IP address coming from this region. And then we would have to have some kind of a specific messaging to maybe show a pop-up with like a pop-up maker or Elementor maybe, or some kind of region-specific pop-up. Or we could just send an email to people who are in our audience and are based in a specific region. But Kurt, what do you think of this feature set so far? I'm really excited about this.
It's pretty cool. I'd have to play with it some to really see my use cases and how they would, kind of come about. I like the coupon URL because I get a lot of people that want to. So how do you say this in a way that makes, in a way that is not demeaning to some folks? Like if you send a coupon code out in an email, the chance that someone's going to follow through, go to the site, select a product, and remember the code at checkout, I say slim, right? That maybe I'm being overly critical, but how many support tickets do you get after every Black Friday when someone says, "Oh, I bought this and I forgot the coupon code. Can I get a rebate or a refund or a whatever?" Right? So if you were to change that workflow and make it so that, hey, this automatically applies your coupon at checkout, that makes things a lot easier.
Absolutely. It's it makes your system much easier to use when they don't even have to worry about the coupon. It'll just automatically apply at checkout. And of course, they can remove it and use a better coupon if they have the Albania only sale. That is a better discount. They could just click remove coupon from the one that was applied in the URL and then just enter their own coupon. Advanced coupons is looking awesome. Very good. Okay, let's go back to Facebook because I forgot what the third one was. Oh, aircraft add-on. Let's go back to LifterLMS add-ons and more and see if we can find the aircraft add-on.
I don't know if you have to download it. Oh, pardon me. There it is. Aircraft Builder.
called it a builder. I'd be like, okay, let's see what this is. So from my understanding, this is a group of patterns that you can add to your WordPress block editor areas. So I think you have to be using the WordPress block editor, and you're going to have a lot more pre-built templates because the block editor is complicated for a lot of people to use, including myself. So having the ability to just go into this template library and say, I want this template, makes it really fast to build pages. I know Maxi Blocks is one that Kurt's a big fan of, has been a big proponent of, and that's the nice functionality of Maxi Blocks. Some of the benefit of it is that you don't have to think about building pages. You just have to click and the page is built.
When they have those patterns, they're really nicely styled. And with Maxi Blocks, you could go light and dark. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and you're on a Cadence site right now, so it'd be interesting to see the difference between Cadence and SkyPilot. But there's aircraft for that. There they are.
Here is the pattern library. So these are what you unlock, I guess, with the aircraft. And if I go to the release notes, it probably just says initial release. Public initial release. All right. So this is what I assume is the entirety of the feature set. There might be more, but I think this is what it is. And so if we go to aircraft about, we can see we've unlocked some new templates. So if you're designing an about page for your website, it's going to make it a lot faster for you to lay out. Like it would take me probably like 20 minutes to like, all right, we have a 2-column layout with this much padding and we need another 8 faces
images.
Like that's, even though I'm an expert with the block editor, it just takes time to build these things and make them look exactly like that. So having this easy, accessible, you're like, boom, I'm going to put a call to action on my page. I'm going to close the block editor. And then it's like, I didn't have to spend 20 minutes formatting this. I just put it on there and it's done. And of course I can swap the images, change it if I want to, but it gives you a much faster website build experience. If we click the plus button in the upper left corner, we're not going to be on blocks. We're going to be on patterns. And that's where we can find the section. So for designing a hero section, we have one option here. If I add that in, open this up, I put the hero section in the wrong place. So I've already figured out how to
break that sucker up.
break it. But yeah, let me move my group to the top. So we've got our group for the hero and our group for the call to action.
Be right back.
And here is the hero section. This is nice. Okay, so I can put in a video, replace this video of Chris in Chris's office there. And yeah, just swap out the text. And this is, I think these are all, can I preview this? How do I preview? There we go. Let's see what this does. Very nice. Okay. I might want to change the padding. Usually when I'm doing, actually, I don't know. This is the same width here. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Kim is a design expert. So Kim is already on this. I like to make sure that this like content area is aligned. And I think it's all aligned at a static width. So that's incredible. If I go to the group settings, I think they're not even using, I guess they're just using full width layouts. But I like to sometimes compress these to be like a 1200 pixel wide thing. So if we do, I guess that one's using 1200. If I publish this and then reload my preview, it should make it a little bit smaller, I believe. Yeah, a little bit smaller. Okay. So yeah, this is good. This is good. 2-column layouts. And let's explore some more of the aircraft options, plus patterns, hero, services. So if you have a service business, you can list out your services there. You could say like courses, coaching, and community.
I like the team.
The team. These are infamously hard to lay out and infamously hard to figure out how you're going to lay out. So that's incredible. Testimonials. These are underrated, where you can throw companies that have done business with you on the page. I have worked with a lot of websites where they have like infinite scrollers and a lot of complicated stuff, but having like 6 logos for your top famous logos you've worked with, those are nice. Praise from students. These are really smart to put on the checkout page. Let's just do a practical demo real quick. Let's show how incredible this can be with the advanced coupons add-on. So if you go to your purchase page with LifterLMS and edit this. I'm going to put a testimonial on the top of my purchase page, and then we'll see if I can use an advanced coupon to create like a really nice Black Friday experience. Somebody at WordCamp Asia told me that I need to start planning for Black Friday now because November is coming up.
You better get with it, buddy.
Right. But it is smart to go ahead and produce some Black Friday content for your industry, right? Because if you're Will from France doing photography courses, you could go ahead and start getting some Black Friday for photography 2024 content built out. And the content you create today would be basically like sales I'm going to be looking for this Black Friday. And now you're already getting your SEO value starting to climb the ranks. So when it comes time for Black Friday, you simply update it with your affiliate links, your offer to your course, etc. But Google already has been aware of your page for like 9 months. That's a pretty smart strategy. But let me get back onto task and not be distracted. So aircraft testimonials, let's drop a testimonial block right here on the top of my page. And then of course we would swap this out with our practical feedback. I'm going to preview one of my course access plans. Well, I've got to make sure it's paid, make sure my WooCommerce extension is turned off. Paid plan, $10 a month, $100 a month. All right, every month for all time. Maybe we'll do $30 a month.
For all time.
For all time. Till the end of time. All right. Boom. Let's take a look at this plan. Copy my link and then paste it up here. That's not it. Boom. Okay, purchase. So here is that purchase area. And then
there's the testimonials.
Saved card feature. Testimonials right there at the top. These ones might be a bit long. You might want to push the formatting a little bit, but this is nice. This is like a pretty good testimonial page because people sometimes will abandon their purchase page, or maybe not sometimes, maybe a lot of the time they'll abandon their purchase page. So having as much content on your purchase page as possible to incentivize them and affirm that they're making the right decision to go ahead and purchase your course program is a good idea. So maybe I would just do one testimonial, but you got 2 on here. And then if I try to do the coupon thing, let's try that. So if I do the advanced coupons, orders coupons, let's make a way where we can say add coupon. And this is going to be Black Friday sale because Black Friday is coming up. Black Friday 2024. That's going to be the coupon from my website. Percentage discount. We'll do a deep discount because it's Black Friday. 50% off of any access plan. Restrictions. Let's see. So it'll be, we're not restricting it to country, but we want to do the URL coupon. Boom. So how does this work?
How does this work?
How does this work?
Well, and shout out to Donna Price with her bicycle helmet on. She's a big bicycle enthusiast. We've spoken before off camera. She asked if it was good with any theme or does it need SkyPilot? And in this example, we're in a Cadence website. So it's a block-oriented theme because it's a block, block patterns.
Yeah, so I don't think you'd be able to use this with something like Divi. It'd have to be any theme that supports the block editor. I think Divi might support the block editor if you like turn the Divi builder off, but you do have to be in the block editor.
Rumor is it's coming. Rumor is there's a new Divi coming that's works with blocks.
Oh, very cool. Very good.
Yeah, at least according to WP Tonic.
Nice. Specific access plan this coupon will be applied to. Oh, I see. Okay. So I have to select the Quick Start course access plan I just created. This specific access plan is the coupon will be applied to, and the visitor will be redirected to the purchase. That's what I want, is I want to redirect them right to the purchase page, because I'm basically going to imagine I'm sending them an email with the code. So this is the URL they click on, and then hopefully I think they're going to get redirected to this access plan. Let's try it out. Try it out. Oh, and usage, look at that. Look at that. There we go. That's a new feature. We didn't see it until we published the coupon, but this is another common question. Kurt, how many times have we gotten this question in the last 3 years?
I think I got it 10 times last week.
Well, this week, there's a solution.
This week, there's a solution.
That's awesome. Didn't see that because it only pops up when you click publish, but that is very good. That is very good.
Now,
you don't need...
imagine if you use it and it starts making a table beneath it that shows what user accounts use the coupon.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
be
in
in a whole new realm of making people happy.
I think we're going to enter that realm here. But let's actually check this out, do a test purchase and see if it works. So I can copy my coupon by just clicking that link, and I can go to my website. I don't think I need to sign out. Maybe I do. Oh, do I need to flush my permalinks because I just installed the new add-on? Probably. Whenever you install an add-on that messes with your link structure or makes a new type of link, usually you need to go to your permalinks and save changes, and let's hope that's the issue. Oh, it says copied at the end of the URL. That's what it's not supposed to say copied. There we go. Boom. So it redirected me to the purchase page with my testimonials on it with a coupon applied. That is fancy. All right, so my payment method is saved. We're going to go ahead and buy now, $15 a month, because I have the 50%. Sorry, I'm scrolling around a lot. 50% discount, automatically applied, Black Friday code. This is awesome. Buy now.
Shazam.
Shazam. I'm enrolled in the course, and let's see if this coupon shows under the usage. If I reload, I have to reload here. It says one. It says one. So it shows that somebody has used this coupon. This is nice to see which of your coupons are generating you revenue, especially for Black Friday sales and custom sales. It's nice to be able to see that data for sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, we do point out to people that you can see the usage in the order, right? So if you know you sell the thing for $30 and now you're seeing transactions for 15, you have all the user information and everything there.
Absolutely. Well, that is super cool. That is super cool. And I'm not going to be able to get into Zapier today. But if you are a Zapier user, you probably already know how to use Zapier now. LifterLMS is an app that you can access within your Zapier portal to do all kinds of interesting automations. I'm going to see if I can pull up the LifterLMS Zapier, just the sales page that tells you everything you can do. Getting started with LifterLMS and Zapier. I know what the automation is and does. Wow, this is a long document. I want to make sure that this is updated before I pull it up on screen. March 1st, 2024. This is up to date. All right, here it is. So there's a 10 billion things that you can do with Zapier, of course, as all the Zapier users know. But this walks you through how to set up with Zapier, get your LifterLMS invite to be able to access the application, and then set up your whole Zapier automations. This is something that Zapier users are very familiar with. But if you hadn't heard of Zapier before, it's a third-party service that allows you to create automations between your WordPress website and other websites, etc. It does, I believe it does share the data with Zapier when you use this tool, because it's taking stuff from your hosting, from your WordPress website, giving it to Zapier, and then Zapier is going to pass it somewhere else, to Google Sheets or to an email or to another application. You could do Zapier to ActiveCampaign. If you say, when someone signs up for my course, I want to zap their email into ActiveCampaign and start emailing them. Now with Lifter MailChimp, you wouldn't really need that because LifterLMS has a MailChimp extension, but you could do that. So say enroll in a course, zap their information over to MailChimp and enroll them in a list. And I wanted to see, okay, here we go. So this is the new course enrollment, create a zap. So it tells you how to, this trigger fires whenever a user enrolls in a course. I wanted to see if we can enroll users in courses from a zap. I think you can. I just want to confirm. New membership enrollment trigger fires when a WordPress user enrolls in a given membership canceled, membership expired. And this tells you all of the information for each zap that you can do and what information you can grab for your user. So allows you to retrieve WordPress user data, send it to Zapier, search by username, enroll in a course. This action allows you to enroll a specific WordPress user into a specific LifterLMS course. This is nice because then you can say, if something happens in a third-party application, I want to create a WordPress user and I want to enroll them into a LifterLMS course. This is advanced functionality right here, and this is available. I don't think Zapier is not an add-on. Zapier is just free, so you can.
You get so many zaps for free.
Oh yeah. Right. They only give you like 25 zaps for free or something like that, and they limit the number of usages per zap that you can do. Um, but that's a Zapier limitation. That's like the Lifter Zapier from our end is not paid. So if you're a beginning course creator, there's a new access level for you to be able to set up your courses with the free LifterLMS plugin plus Lifter Zapier. So you can say when people purchase on my credit card form or my Google Drive form, I want them to get enrolled in a Lifter site. You could do that. And I'm very excited to see what these third-party automation tools can do in this upcoming year regarding payments. So a lot of functionality unlocked. But Kurt, what do you think about all these 4 new updates? We got the Zapier, we've got the LifterLMS notes, we've got the coupons, and we've got the aircraft. Are any of these stick out favorites to you?
Aircraft is a stick out favorite for me because, as you know, and I admit all the time, Will, sometimes my creativity needs a piece of inspiration. And so when there's something that's pre-formatted or something that has a graphic already in it, it kind of gives me that, oh, that's what I can do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that makes sense. So many times you'll see a regurgitation of something that is bland and you get accustomed to it, right? And then you think that that's it, right? So when you see something new or when you see another representation of something, it can inspire a better product from you. So I think for me, the aircraft is probably the standout issue. I've gotten really used to using some other tools like Fluent CRM and stuff like that for some different automation tools. So I'm not a big Zapier person. But if Zap's your game, how awesome is that, right? That's pretty cool. And then with coupons, I got to be honest, man. I don't use coupons as much as maybe I could. And maybe that's something for me Black Friday rolls around and I slap them out then, but maybe I need to have a better strategy in that, with the different communities that I work within.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't use coupons much myself either, but I hear a lot of my customers ask questions about how can I do all this crazy stuff? And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter why, you can do it. Like you can now do it. So it unlocks a lot of good features. I'm excited to be able to promote those. And
yeah. The features are good, and I think that you've touched on something with your last comment though, and that is, and I learned this the hard way. When I first started as a customer with LifterLMS, I got the LifterLMS Infinity, and it came with all these things. And I just installed and activated everything because I thought, well, I paid for it, I better use it. And I put all that stuff in there. And then what did I have? No community, no users. I'm looking at this horribly intricate thing that I had built, and I'm going, I don't even know if it works or not. There's nobody in here. So my advice, and this is unsolicited at this stage of the game because nobody asked in comments yet, but it is, if you're just launch. We talked earlier about procrastination in France. Just launch, get going, build community, get some content going, get an introductory course up where you can let people in and see what you have to say and see if it gains any momentum, and then kind of go from there, and then pepper in the tools that you want. Do you want something, different for a payment gateway? Do you want something for social? Because we have social tools at LifterLMS that you can plug in with your website that work really well. There's all kinds of things that you can do. But my advice is to wait until you need it before you activate it.
Oh yeah, that's good advice. Always good advice to not install things that you don't need on your website, because they are sometimes a pain to remove later. Like when you install a bunch of plugins and you're like, did we use this? Did we not use it? And then figuring out what to take off is a big pain. So like Kurt said, it's all use case.
Yeah. And I don't know if we were to talk about other things, like when we talked about the aircraft builder, I literally just right before this little call, Will, I was on a podcast with WP Tonic and Jamie from Poodle Press, and we were discussing, we started to discuss things we thought were missing in the block builder. And Jamie was careful to redirect us and say, nope, you can do that. Nope, you can do that too. Nope, you can do that. And you can do an awful lot with the block builder. And what I came to realize after discussing some of this with Jamie was, maybe just maybe, I'm willing to take it on the chin and say it. Maybe I became a little too dependent on some of the crutches that I had started to use and get comfortable with, and failed to realize some of the advancements in the additions that WordPress has made to the block editor. So just like a new user, I got to dive into like maybe a brand new installation of WordPress, with no plugins in it, and just say, okay, so let's make a page and let's see what we can do with the block editor. And because my understanding from Jamie today was, I said, well, I use Cadence as an add-on to Gutenberg, because I want to be able to do padding and margins and things like that I didn't see in the block editor. He's like, oh no, that's all in there now. And I'm like, okay, well, shame on my face. I guess I got to go and take another look. But yeah, I think when I started thinking about aircraft, it's like, okay, if we're going to focus on blocks, having those extra patterns and features is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. And the one idea that kind of sprung to mind with the idea of creating like photography content is like, I tried creating course content through LifterLMS years ago, a long time ago, like 7 or 8 years ago. I created my course and the course just failed completely, fell on my face. But then in the process, I learned how to use Lifter, learned how to use WordPress, etc. So then I started teaching other people how to use WordPress. So it might end up in an interesting situation where a bunch of people aren't asking questions actively about how to use a certain type of camera. And instead they're asking, as photographers, how do I break into the online industry? And so that's even a whole other question, is teaching other photographers how to build their websites and display their photography. Like that's the using that overlap and cross-pollination of like, I have WordPress experience because I've built a site for myself, and I have photography experience, and there's not as many people who have that crossover in the world, like probably not that many people at all. So then it creates this really unique niche and subject matter. I don't know, that just kind of popped into my ADHD mind there. But yeah, going with my favorite add-on from this, they're all pretty good. I'd say either Notes or Aircraft would be my favorite. If I have to choose one, I probably have to choose Aircraft, like Kurt. Aircraft, like Kurt said, it's the same reason. It's just so fast to build things. You just click 3-4 times, change the colors, change the picture, and you're done. It's like, it speeds up the website build process. Like, so I did a 4-hour tutorial like a year ago or something, or 6 months ago, about how to use SkyPilot. That 4-hour tutorial will probably be like a 30-minute tutorial now, because instead of building all my pages with blocks, I just click the Sky Aircraft thing, and then I just drop in blocks, and then it's done. Like, it just speeds up the process so much. But I guess, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we're at the top of the hour, my friend.
That's what I was going to say too.
Great minds think alike. All right, folks, we do this every Thursday. If you're a new listener or viewer to this pre-sales call, it very much is meant to be a pre-sales call, meaning you're thinking about having an online course, you're thinking about building inside WordPress, you've got questions, what plugin to use, what tools to use, how to build. That's what we try to cover here. Today was a little more of a, hey, we got some new features, let's take a look. But we very much encourage people to join and ask questions, and we can do demos and help you along the way, or help you strategize the next step in your journey. That said, we'll be here next week, and we will see you very shortly.